All right, let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Maddie from Children's Book World, and I'm so excited for you all to join us here for today's story time with Benson Shum. Benson is the author and illustrator of Alex's Good Fortune and the illustrator of Sloth Went. And he's here today to have a great story time with us. Personalized copies of his books can be found on our website at childrensbookworld.com, and there will be a link in the description of this video. So go ahead and take it away, Benson. Oh. Benson, you're muted.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Maddie. First, I want to thank Children's Book World for hosting this awesome event. And also thank you, the viewers, for joining us today to celebrate the holiday of the Lunar New Year. So yes, my name is Benson Shum. I am an author and illustrator of children's books, as well as an animator at the Walt Disney Animation Studios. I was lucky to be part of films such as Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, Moana, and most recently, Raya and the Last Dragon. And so today, I'm super excited to share with you my latest book. It's called Alex's Good Fortune, that I wrote and illustrated. And so I thought we can just get started. I'm going to share my screen and talk a bit about the book, and then we can read together. Okay. Can you all see this? Okay. Here we go. Alex's Good Fortune. So this book was inspired by the traditions that I grew up with, that my parents kind of passed on to my sisters and I. And I wanted to write a book about the stuff that we did every year. And maybe this is something that could be a tradition for you as well. So yeah, so this is it. Alex's Good Fortune. And I dedicated this to my mom and my dad. When Alex wakes up and remembers what day it is, she puts on her red shirt and red headband. Happy Chinese New Year, she says. Can I invite Ethan over for the holiday? Of course, Mom replies. Once Ethan arrives, they join the Chinese New Year parade. Ethan helps lift the dragon. Alex carries the staff. Together, they make the dragon dance. In the streets, the sounds of drums, cymbals, and firecrackers fill the air. Dum, 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 dum. Crash, crash, crash. Ethan waves the dragon up and down. Alex holds the staff. What does it all mean? Asks Ethan. The dragon dance brings good luck to everyone, says Alex. After the parade, friends and family gather at Alex's house. Everyone exchanges wishes for a healthy and happy year. Auntie Lynn hands Alex and Ethan red envelopes for luck. 恭喜发财, says Auntie Lynn. 心想事成, says Alex. There is money inside. Uncle Ty paints red banners for the front door. Alex and Ethan help paint. Stroke and sweep, stroke and sweep. They hang them up to wish everyone peace all year round. Chinese New Year also brings Alex his least favorite tradition. Before the start of the new year, Alex had to clean her room to wash away bad luck. After that, she swept the floor. Ethan had offered to help and wipe the table for his friend. So this was my least favorite tradition as well growing up. So you can see it on Alex's face. Nanai makes dumplings in the kitchen. Alex and Ethan help wrap them. Fold and pinch, fold and pinch. Alex likes them fried. Ethan likes them steamed. Chinese New Year dishes have many meanings. Fish for prosperity, noodles for long life, dumplings for wealth, and chicken for family, and lots of candies for good fortune. So this is what we call a candy tray. So if you go to an Asian grocery store, you'll see a lot of different styles of candy trays. And this one specifically has sunflower seeds in the middle, and we have peanuts, dried pineapples, dried apricots, and lucky candy. Finally, everything is ready. Alex serves the tea. Ethan carries in the rice. It's time for the most delicious tradition, the grand banquet. Everyone gathers to share dumplings, noodles, and many other dishes. Alex's favorite tradition is the Lantern Festival, which falls on the 15th day of the celebration. To mark the end of Chinese New Year, friends and family go to the park to enjoy it. Alex and Ethan grab their lanterns and hang them on the tallest tree. The lanterns shine like stars in the sky. Thank you for sharing the holiday with me, Alex, Ethan says. I'm glad we got to celebrate together, Alex replies. Happy Chinese New Year, they shout. 新年快乐. And then in the back, we have a bit of the stories of Chinese New Year. So I'll just read a bit about that. So Chinese New Year is a time for family and friends to gather and celebrate with music, dancing, cooking, and lots of eating. Food is a big part of the Chinese New Year festivities. There are many dishes to prepare and lots of goodies to eat. So red, as you can see throughout the book, is symbolizes good luck. So you see it in everything from clothing to the red envelopes to banners. And then this is also one of my favorites, the Chinese zodiac. So on the right, you see the 12 animals, and there's a story that goes that the Jade Emperor on his birthday decided to select 12 animals to guard the heavenly gates. And there was to be a great race across a fast-flowing river, and the first 12 animals to cross would win. So the rat arrived first, then ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, and finally the pig. And these 12 became the animals on the Chinese zodiac calendar. So for example, if you were born in the year of the rat, you could be quick-witted, intelligent, or natural-born leader. I was born in the year of the sheep, so I could be gentle, patient, or easygoing. And then on the last page, we have what we call Chinese New Year wishes. So for example, so when you wish someone a good wishes, you clasp your hands together like this, and then you shake it like this. So then you say, 心想事成, which means I wish all your dreams will come true. And that's kind of what you do to your elders or to your friends. And then hopefully you'll get a red envelope. And so speaking of the Chinese zodiac, I thought we would draw the ox, because this year is the year of the ox. So I'm going to continue sharing my screen. And I'm going to show you quickly in the book which one I'm talking about. So we're going to draw this one right here. So there's many different ways to draw an ox. So I'm going to show you just the basics of how I start. So the ox, I usually start with kind of like a bean shape, like that. And then I'm going to give him or her 2 eyes, 2 dots for eyes. And then I will do like an upside down U for the nose. And for the nostrils, I do little raindrops like that. Okay, so now you can do many different hairstyles. There's a lot of different hairstyles for oxes and cows and horns too. So maybe we could do a really long horn that goes out like this. Right? And we'll add a few lines to show the texture on the horns. And then an ox's ears is almost like a leaf shape. So they kind of droop down like that. And I'll put a line through it, and the same thing on the other side. So now this part could be the really fun part. The hair, so we can do curly hair, we can do straight hair, we can do big hair, or just a little bit. So let's do one that is kind of like curly, like so. Or you can make it bigger and then do this, right? So then let's try another hairstyle. So again, we're gonna start with it bean shape for the head. And then we'll add 2 dots for the eyes. And then an upside down U, little raindrops. And maybe this time we can do maybe like little horns, like that. And again, we'll do the leaves for the ears. And maybe let's do straight hair. So we'll give her kind of like Alex's hair, where there's a part in the middle. And then she has long hair that goes like that. And maybe we could give her a little flower like that. And let's do, how about we do one more? Yeah, let's start with a jelly bean, a bean shape for the head. And then we'll do 2 dots for the eyes again. Upside down U for the nose, and some raindrops here. Okay, let's have really high horns that go up like that. The lines here. And maybe we'll give it a little bit of hair like this. It's a little one, like that. And maybe we can even give them glasses. So maybe like, actually let's give it red glasses. That'd be fun. Like that. And then we'll give the ears, with the ears. Right. And then here we have 3 ups. So we can say happy New Year. Oh, like that. Okay, so that's kind of how I approach a lot of my drawings, is trying different hairstyles, different proportions, maybe giving it glasses, or if we're gonna do a full body, I can give it different types of clothes as well. And that's when I'm just gonna stop sharing. And so speaking of oxes, I also made a lucky banner that you can also do at home. It's pretty simple. So all you would need is some construction paper or any colored paper. And so just make 1 square and 1 smaller. All you do is you just need a glue stick. So you would glue that together. And on my website, under activities, you can download and print all the Chinese zodiac animals. And then you just cut whichever one you want, whether it's the ox, because you're the ox, or what animal you are, or you can do all 12 of them. And then just get a bit of string, and then you can string them all together, and you can either give it to your friends and wish them a happy and wonderful New Year. And yeah, I think that's about it. Should we open up to some Q&A?
Yeah, that sounds great. I have a few questions here, and if people want to add any more in the YouTube chat, they can while we go through this as well. The first question that I had for you from these, so Alex loves sharing her traditions, it's very clear, and you clearly must too from writing this book. And so the question is, how else do you share your traditions?
How else do I share my tradition? That's a good question. So every year, I think the big part of it is being with people and celebrating with friends and family. Unfortunately, we can't at the moment, but what we would usually do is, I love to eat, so my favorite part is really sharing like food and going out to eat, or you just make food or have a big potluck. And whether you're cooking or you're getting takeout or buying it from a restaurant, I think it's just the idea of coming together and just seeing each other and celebrating and bringing in the new year together.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of people have found really creative ways to do that while distanced this year, and that's really wonderful. Okay, so the next question I have is that, so what led you from your work as an animator to now working on children's books as well? Kind of where was that transition for you?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So, I love books, and I really gravitated towards the drawings as a kid. So, drawing was always a foundation for me, and then that led me into animation. And animation is about giving life to characters and bring life to them. So, how I got into books was there was an opportunity at the studio. There was a children's book program, and I applied through that, and I published my first book with Disney Hyperion. And from there, I fell in love with the whole process of books because it's very similar in some ways to animation. There are some differences in the sense that an animated film you have an hour and a half to tell a whole story. In books, you have 32, maybe 40 pages to tell a whole story. And also the characters aren't moving. But the similarities is that in animation, the way we draw and animate is to create movement in our drawings. And I apply those same skills to my books as well. So I try to be as expressive and emotive in my drawings as possible, and also in my writing when I make books.
Yeah, I think that really comes across, especially with some of the very expressive work in Alex's Good Fortune. The one of her cleaning definitely sticks with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, kind of, I think related to that is, what does your art process look like, and do you draw every day?
Yeah, so I drew. I don't draw every day now. I wish I could. But yes, I did draw a lot. And most of the drawings are horrible, which is great because that's how you learn. Um, so yeah, I did draw a lot. I did doodle a lot, like sketching. Um, and uh, and the first thing I usually do is I draw a lot of circles, just randomly, just doing circles on a page. I think what that does is it kind of loosens our mind and our hand, because when I'm drawing, it's you feel very stiff because you want to make sure that everything is perfect, every line is perfect. Um, but it's not perfect, and that's completely fine. And I feel like that's why drawing is amazing, because it's all the little imperfections that make it unique to you. I think that's why for me at least, the process right now, I'm drawing everything traditionally. So I watercolor and ink them on paper, and then I'll scan them into the computer. And the thing with painting traditionally is that you can't erase. Once I put that paint down, it's there. Or if I'm like inking and I accidentally spilled something, or make the line a bit wobbly, it's stuck. And I feel like that adds that extra charm and that artisticness that you give to your work. So that might be longer than longer answer than expected, but that's kind of how I try to approach
No, that's perfect. Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be able to celebrate our mistakes as well. Um, so the next question we had, kind of still in the same vein, but specifically about Alex's Good Fortune. How did this book come to be? What was your process from the idea to making it?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to do a book that celebrated the new year, and I thought traditions would be a nice way to kind of bring that in, because every family kind of celebrates a little differently. So, but there was always all these kind of commonalities. How you greet people, sitting around a round table. So that's a reason why a lot of Asian restaurants have circular tables, because that way it's easier to share food, and you're also in some ways more connected to each other because it's like there's no corners. So there's all these little things that's kind of nice to kind of bring into the book.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Okay, I do have one more question for you. I also have a comment. Joseph says that Paisley can't wait to get her signed book, and she loves drawing. So it's very fun. And the last question I have is, what was your favorite zodiac animal to draw?
My favorite zodiac animal to draw is the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love mythical creatures, and yeah, and then the because you have the Western dragon, and with you have the wings and stuff like that, but then you have the Eastern dragon, which has the whiskers and it doesn't have wings, and it runs on water actually. So the Eastern dragon doesn't in like TV shows you see them kind of floating around like a snake in the sky, but what they're actually do is they're actually running on droplets of water. So that's what you have this kind of curling way of the way they move. So that's kind of interesting and it's different. So that's why I kind of enjoy drawing them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did not know that about running on water droplets. I've seen them before, but didn't know that that was the reason. That's very cool. So I think with that, let me double check and make sure we haven't gotten any other last minute questions. I think that will wrap up. Do you have anything else that you want to add before I wrap us up?
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone a healthy and happy new year. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Maddie and Children's Book World, for hosting this awesome story time.
Thank you, Benson, and thank you everyone for coming. Remember that you can still get signed in personalized copies of Benson's books. The link is on our website, which is childrensbookworld.com, or in the YouTube description. And have a